Removal. Important. Begin with either the left or right edge of the slate when attempting to separate the display panel assembly from the display enclosure. Using a non-marring flat-bladed tool, carefully release the display panel assembly from the display enclosure. Caution. To prevent damage to the display enclosure or display panel assembly, take extreme care when the flat-bladed tool is near any of the external buttons or connectors. Lift the display panel assembly off of the display enclosure until you have access to the battery cable connector on the system board. Peel back the metallic shielding that secures the right wireless antenna transceiver to the system board. Remove the retention tape that secures the battery cable in its connector. Carefully disconnect the battery cable from its connector on the system board in the manner shown. Using minimal force, lift the locking bar up on the display panel cable ZIF connector and disconnect the display panel cable from the system board. Remove the display panel assembly. Replacement. Note: before installing a new display panel assembly, remove the following from the old display panel assembly and install on the new display panel assembly. Display panel cable. Place the display panel assembly in position near the display enclosure so that you have access to the display panel cable and ZIF connector. Insert the display panel cable into the display panel cable ZIF connector on the system board and press the locking bar down to lock the cable into place. Carefully connect the battery cable into its connector on the system board in the manner shown. Replace the retention tape that secures the battery cable into its connector. Replace the metallic shielding that secures the right wireless antenna transceiver to the system board. Place the display panel assembly into position on the display enclosure. Carefully press down on the edges of the display panel assembly to snap it into place.